Hello, good morning everyone. We are back to RevitaLive every Tuesdays. Today we have a very special guest with me, Ms Ivy Cheah, our consultant dietitian from GMC Penang. Welcome Ivy.
Thank you.
Yes. So today, as you all can see, finished clinic early, and I'm down here in the session to prepare a simple lunch meal today. So Ivy, how's your MCO situation going on now?
It's actually pretty good. In the beginning, we had a little bit more time, and then you don't know what to do with your time. And slowly, because we're also coming to work, so you get the hang of it. And I find that I have more time for myself recently.
Okay, I understand. So I think a lot of our viewers as well, some of y'all are at work, and probably this is your lunchtime, and a lot of y'all as well are at home. So we came up with another concept, because I think currently those who are at home probably either have too much time on their hands, or probably have too much of free time on their hands where they don't know what to do. So I think this is a time that we probably should be more productive, trying to find ways to catch up on the things that we always wanted to catch up on, reading, getting in touch with pending work, family, and so on. So I think I also suggested this will be a great way of having the family couple together, preparing a simple meal, and most importantly, a nice, nutritious, and healthy meal that probably you can take on the go. I think the concept now, because we are because of the movement restriction, we can't live the healthy lifestyle that we are actually used to. Going out and exercising and so on. So, but you can always find ways to exercise, keep yourself on the go at home, doing more housework and so on. Okay, so probably we'll address that in another program. Okay, but for today we will concentrate more on preparation of today's lunch.
Exactly.
Okay, maybe you can say something about it, Ivy?
Yeah, so since right now during the MCO, I would encourage all of you to take this time and opportunity to maybe reset our eating habits.
Very good. Yeah.
So we're always having no time to prepare meals, no time to have lunch, rushing to appointments and things like that. Or I don't know how to make myself a healthy meal, so I just grab and go. I just pack something and go home. So I think this is a time for us to take advantage. Take advantage of this MCO, this time you have at home, to do something for yourself. Something for yourself, for your family. And these are things that you can actually carry forward. Even after this MCO, I hope that we can still continue to practice some of these healthy habits that we learned right now.
Yeah.
So today we will share with you 2 items.
Okay. Before that, Ivy, I think since we are constantly practicing our social distancing, and also I think we can remove our masks to this one as well. So viewers, I think an important thing is we have to remember, especially like for us in the hospital side, when we go back home, the first thing that we do is actually to discard our clothing. If you're wearing mask, of course you have to have the proper way of taking it out from behind and remove it and discard it in a manner that it doesn't affect anyway. Okay. Of course, Ivy and myself, we have already washed our hands. A lot of questions that we get is, should we use hand sanitizers? Well, you can. If you're at home, you expect the home environment to be clean, so you can actually just use simple water and soap. And if you're used to a particular type of soap that is sensitive to your skin, so try avoiding any new material and so on. But if you like to use hand sanitizer, I think that's not a problem as well, right?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, maybe we can speak about today's preparation.
So we will be making a beverage and a menu.
Wow.
Yeah, so the first one is fruit tea. Not that your regular tea is not good. We just have a bit more time, so we make something a little bit more fancy. Yeah. So fruit tea, we will start with some black tea. Before that, we will put on some gloves.
Okay. Yeah.
Fruit tea.
So we got some nice.
So tea
gloves.
is basically almost calorie free. Yeah, so it doesn't cost you any calories. You can have your tea as much as you like, but also be reminded that they do contain caffeine. So those of you who are more sensitive to caffeine, you might want to skip that cup of tea before bed so that it doesn't disrupt your sleep at night. Same thing like coffee.
I think that's quite interesting. Not many people know that actually tea has caffeine in it as well. Yeah.
Yeah, so of course, and also some of you who are trying to reduce your weight, trying to watch what you're eating and drinking. So coffee sometimes, especially those with milk or milk tea, they actually contain more calories. So we will try to simplify it, but at the same time give you a little bit more flavor in your tea, so that you can enjoy a little bit more pleasure while remaining in your calorie requirements and restrictions. Yeah.
So you have our usual normal black tea. Okay, this is in a sachet form. How about for those who insist on using like green tea or chamomile?
Sure. Yes, any tea will do. But of course, with this recipe, I think that black tea works well. You can go for Earl Grey English breakfast, not a problem.
Okay.
This the recipes today, you can always make it your own. Change whatever you like according to your taste.
Okay, super.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, so we will first start to sip the tea.
Okay.
So we will open the bag and place it in and pour hot water over.
Right. So this is one tea bag, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. One tea bag. So a tip when you have a tea bag like this, you want to, you know, like how they serve you in the cafes. Yeah. So we're gonna make something fancy at home.
Right.
So in order to prevent your tea bag from falling in, you just put it at the handle of your teapot, just like that.
Oh, yeah, very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so we'll put the hot water in.
Okay. Yeah.
Just put it halfway.
So one tea bag for.
For this one, we'll put
cup.
1 cup first.
Okay. Right. So I'm soaking the tea bag.
Alright, enough.
Okay. Right.
Okay. So we want the tea to stick first.
Okay. I'll just close it.
Yeah. While that's happening,
Yeah.
we will have, because we're going to make it fancy, right? But we are adding actually fruits and fruit juices.
Oh, excellent.
Yes, today we have apples and oranges, but if you don't like, you can always change it. Lemon, lime, you can have passion fruit, strawberries, berries, whatever you like, mangoes. Yeah.
Okay.
Here today we have fresh oranges and apples. So I will need you to.
It's your usual orange and apple, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have about half a fruit each.
Okay.
Yeah. So you put that into the teapot.
All right. So I'll use. How many slices do we put in?
This is almost half an orange. You can put almost all of it in.
Oh wow. Okay. So it should actually be very zesty.
So that's why we get all our flavors. Yeah. We're not adding any sugar in today's recipe.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's about it.
I think orange itself has its own very rich sugar or fructose inside.
Yes,
right?
it does contain its own natural fruits.
Sugars. Yeah.
Yeah. So this apples.
Okay. So we got our apples here. Do you need to caramelize it, or do you need to like?
This is just fresh cut apples.
Okay. Right.
So you want to slice them thinly so that we're trying to actually infuse our tea here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good enough.
Okay. A bit more. Okay. Yeah. Done.
Alright. Okay, the fresh fruits are in. Now we have a little bit of juice.
Okay.
This is also freshly juiced orange from our fresh orange.
Okay, so you use the orange
This is
itself and you
half an
juice it, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So half the orange I juiced,
Yeah.
half the orange I sliced to be put inside. So
Oh.
you don't waste anything.
Excellent.
Yeah?
Okay.
So this one goes in as well.
Okay, so we just pour the orange in.
Alright, good.
Okay, right.
Alright.
So you got tea, orange,
Orange
apple,
juice,
and the
apple.
juice.
Yeah. So now we will add just a little bit more apple juice
Oh, my favorite.
to intensify and to make it more fragrant. If you are at home, you don't have apple juice, what you can do, put a little bit more apple, and you might want to simmer it on top of the stove top for a little bit so that the flavor of the apple comes out better.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
so maybe I'll put this in.
Alright.
Alright,
Okay,
that's
wow.
it. That's just about
Smells good.
50 meals. So right now all there is to do is just to cover up and wait. So what we're doing is to allow the tea to get the fruit flavor,
Right.
to infuse the tea with the fruit's flavor.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll just put this aside and we will move on to our next recipe.
Okay, awesome.
So the next one, as you can see here,
Oh wow.
is our chicken wrap.
Yeah.
We are actually making a wholemeal chicken wrap.
Okay.
The same as the previous recipe.
Right.
We can always change
Okay.
the ingredients, substitute the ingredients according to our liking.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So this is a very simple menu that you can actually do during your lunchtime itself. Just bring
Yes.
your material that you have and then you can prepare it, right?
Exactly. Or you can make it in the morning and bring it to work.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Alright.
So I can start doing that.
So here we have some whole wheat tortilla wraps.
Okay.
I'll make one and you make one as well.
Yeah, sure.
We'll make two,
sure.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
So these are whole wheat tortillas.
Okay.
You can easily find them in the grocery stores.
Yeah. It looks like to me it looks like a chapati.
Exactly. This
Yeah.
is a different version of chapati. If you don't have these wraps,
Yeah.
you can always substitute them with chapati.
Oh, okay.
Chapati is also a good source
Okay.
of fiber and carbohydrates at
But
the same time.
This is
less oil.
wheat, right? Wheat bread. Right?
Whole wheat.
Whole wheat. Whole wheat.
Whole wheat. So you have a variety. So when you go to the supermarket, you see the whole shelf of it. So what do you take? So I encourage you to look for whole wheat, whole grains.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And because these contains more fiber, vitamins and minerals compared to the white.
Okay.
And that will do you good in terms of your sugar control, cholesterol levels, and also it keeps you full longer.
Yeah,
So
actually.
for those looking to lose weight.
Oh, that's yeah. I think it's a good example. And I think flour. There's a lot of anything that is white, sugar, flour tend to be very high glycemic index as well.
Yes,
right?
they have higher glycemic index.
Okay.
Yes. So right now what we are going to do is that we are trying to have a complete meal in this one wrap.
Okay.
Alright?
Alright.
So as we know, the first component we have already our carbohydrates.
Okay.
Right? So we are going to top it up with some fresh vegetables. We have here mixed lettuce.
Mhm.
Yeah, this is a mixture. So
Yeah.
we are going to put a generous amount.
Oh yeah.
So don't worry about the amount of salad that you're going to put on. You're going to put on,
I think you can put as many as you like, right?
yeah, as much as you like, as long as we can still wrap it later. Yeah, so we will put that around the center.
Okay.
We'll put them in the center. We'll make a nice bed there.
Okay. Yeah. Nice to sleep on.
Yeah.
So you can use lettuce. You can use
You
anything
can
that's green and
replace
leafy,
it.
right?
Yes, you can maybe make use of spinach,
Yeah.
maybe even lettuce. You can just use one type, not a problem.
Okay.
Coral lettuce, iceberg lettuce, or you want to use romaine lettuce, you want to use rockets, whatever you like really.
Okay, good.
As long as you have your greens in
Just
there.
experiment.
Yeah. And so the next one is also a variety of vegetables. We have here cucumber, tomatoes, and also pan-fried zucchini.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So when you say pan fried, you just slice it and just stir fry for a while.
You could do that, or what we have already done here is that we have seasoned it with our spices, the same as our chicken.
Okay.
I'll explain that in a while.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to also put my slices of tomato.
Okay. So tomato is supposed to be very nutritious, is it?
Yes, it all similar with all fruits and vegetables. They all contain their unique vitamins and minerals.
Right.
Tomatoes, they have something called lycopene,
Okay.
which is actually a type of antioxidant.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Just a minute,
yeah.
Ivy. I think we have a question from Linda Davies.
Yes, sure.
I'm enjoying this advice. I'm on day 19 itself on self-isolation. I'm running out of ideas for lunch and dinner combined. Well, Linda, yeah, you can have this for lunch and dinner as well.
Yes, exactly. And also because we want to avoid wastage, what you can do, make a bigger batch, make it for lunch, dinner, or the proteins, you can actually make a meal out of it. I'll tell you shortly. Yeah. So I have laid my tomatoes.
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna put on zucchini.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to do that as well.
Yeah. Put on the zucchini.
So besides tomatoes and zucchini, Ivy, is there anything else that we can actually substitute it with,
Yeah.
if you like?
For example, you can always have cucumbers, onions. Yeah, you like. Depends on what kind of vegetables you like, really.
Right.
If you don't like zucchini, go for cucumbers. You don't like tomatoes, go for maybe bell peppers.
Okay.
Capsicum, red, yellow, green, up to you. What you like, really. Anything that you like, put it in there.
So you can just do
Or carrots.
your own Subway at home, I suppose.
Exactly. Exactly. Carrots, or a nice add, I think, would also be maybe some black olives, maybe if you like things like that.
Okay, right.
And so, of course, now we have carbohydrates, our fibers.
Yeah.
The next one is proteins.
Proteins, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So like I mentioned earlier, we're making a chicken wrap today.
Yeah.
So this chicken is already pan fried.
Right.
The previous day we have marinated with cajun spices
Wow.
and fresh herbs, basil and thyme, yeah, and some salt and pepper.
Okay.
Then we pan fry it over a non-stick pan. So
Right.
by that you reduce the amount of oil we're using.
So you
This
can
is chicken breast.
prepare all this the night before, right?
Yes.
So you can prepare the dish just before you go to work,
Yeah.
or you can even just bring it out from the fridge and prepare it for lunch.
Yeah,
Right. Okay.
exactly.
Okay.
So if you don't like chicken or you don't take chicken, you can use fish, you can use tofu,
Yeah.
tempeh, you can use eggs.
Oh.
Really, like I mentioned, anything you like lah.
So
Or tuna,
it's
sardine.
an excellent dish for vegetarians as well, right?
Yes.
So you can-
For vegetarians, you can go for tofu, tempeh, or you can even go for chickpeas,
Okay.
garbanzo beans.
Right.
Chickpeas, you put them in as your proteins.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna put my proteins in.
Okay.
Yeah. We're gonna lay them.
So those who love a lot of high protein diet,
Yes, those who require high protein
put in more
diets,
chicken.
put in more.
yeah.
Those who need more proteins. And interesting fact of proteins, yeah.
Yeah.
Protein gives you satiety, meaning it keeps you satisfied.
Right.
So you imagine having a meal
Right.
with your rice and vegetables. How do you feel?
Yeah.
You might be full, but you feel like you're craving for something else after that. So
Actually.
you imagine if you have an extra piece of chicken or fish. You feel, although the amount is the same,
Yeah.
you feel more satisfied.
Yeah.
So that is what protein gives us. And those who are looking to lose weight, yeah, we encourage you to have sufficient proteins. Of course, that will have to calculate based on your needs and your requirements. But sufficient proteins will keep you satisfied and reduce the cravings that you have.
Yes.
So you avoid all the extra snacking if you have enough proteins. Okay?
So you can make this dish more protein rich and less carb as well by substituting the wrap with something more healthier, right?
Yes, you can make an egg roll wrap.
Yeah.
Beat your eggs up,
Yeah.
make them into like a crepe.
Yeah.
That's a
You can use that,
substitution.
yeah.
Yeah. So right now we have our proteins. I'm gonna put a little bit more.
Okay.
So right now we have our proteins,
Right.
our vegetables, and our carbohydrates.
Okay.
The final touch is of course the dressing.
Okay.
So if you can see that, yeah.
We have Han Yang online and it says looks easy to prepare. Yes, Han Yang, I can say that.
That's the
So
whole
far-
aim of it.
So far it does look easy.
We're trying to keep
But-
it simple.
But I think Ivy is going to tell us at the end of the preparation how much of calories that is actually going to
Don't
cost
worry,
you.
it's not gonna shock you.
So it's okay.
Yeah. So over here we have the dressing.
Oh, okay.
This
So
looks
what do we
white.
have here?
Can you guess? Looks like
Something like mayonnaise.
This is a makeshift mayonnaise. Now mayonnaise, not that it's not good for you, but mayonnaise tend to contain more fat. How you make mayonnaise? Eggs and oil.
Oh,
So it's mainly oil.
right.
Yeah. So we have here is yogurt dressing. We have
Ivy, sorry, by the way, when you say it's eggs and oil, is it the egg yolk or the egg
Both.
white? Both.
both.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yes. So it will contain quite a lot of saturated fat, especially when you're buying the store-bought mayonnaise.
Okay.
Yeah. So here we have yogurt
Okay.
and lemon juice.
Oh wow, yogurt and lemon juice.
Yes.
Okay.
So yogurt contains less calories, less fat, at the same time more proteins, more calcium. Yeah, and lemon juice is your natural flavoring agent.
Okay.
So we don't want to put too much salt, don't want to put too much gravies and all that. We will use lemon juice. So I'm going to just
So
put
how do you prepare that? You get your
just
you know, regular yogurt
yeah,
and then you
regular
just-
plain yogurt.
and then you pour your lemon juice inside
Yes,
and just
just
stir
have
it.
a squeeze of lemon.
Yeah, and you can keep it in the fridge for how long?
Not to keep too long lah, because just like all dairy products, once you open, keep for a day or two, you should finish it up.
Okay.
Yeah. Or what I would encourage you to do if you're not making too much,
Yeah.
just spoon 2 tablespoons up,
Yeah.
have a squeeze of lemon in there.
Yeah.
Up to you. Again, same thing. As much as you like, as little as you like. You don't want the lemon, it's fine.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. So you just stir it, and then so we will put it on top.
Okay, wow. Looks yummy. So can you use Thousand Island sauce or chili sauce or anything?
Yes. But Thousand Island, just like mayonnaise, the more creamy dressings, Thousand Island, mayonnaise, ranch, the more creamy dressing is an indication that they contain more fat. Because that's the function of fat.
Okay.
Protein gives you satiety, fat gives you flavor,
Yeah.
mouthfeel, the body of the food. Alright, so it's not that we don't want to add mayonnaise or Thousand Island because it's not tasty. It is. But we are trying to reduce the amount of calories we have in our meals here. So yogurt is something similar. Like I mentioned, you know, we want a little pleasure at the same time within our requirements. So this is one of the substitutions.
But I think it's true. Most of the substances that are really tasty, delicious and all tend to have a lot of fat.
Yes.
By the way, we have Nurul Shafia who says, do you have any recommendation for a healthy dessert? Maybe we'll take that after this.
Yeah, surely.
Okay. And then Evelyn says it's almost lunchtime. This live is making me hungry. Yeah. I can understand how you feel, Evelyn.
So you see I have laid it out like this.
Okay.
Yeah. What we're going to do right now is to transform this into a wrap.
Okay.
If you don't want to wrap it up and roll it up, it's fine, you can have it as it is.
Right.
But what we're going to do today is we are trying to make it into a nicely wrap so that you feel like you're having your own Subway.
Yeah,
Trying to make it a little bit fancy.
Actually, from the way I see it, actually I can even add eggs or croutons or anything like that into it, right?
Yes, you could. Yeah. So what I will do is I will fold the sides in.
Okay.
Yeah, the both sides. Yeah.
Okay.
Alright. And from the part that is nearest to myself,
Right.
I will roll it up
Okay.
and tuck in.
Okay.
I will use my fingers
Right.
to tuck it in
Right.
so that everything stays inside.
Yes, got it.
And then just roll it up. And then you have a wrap.
Yeah, it's very easy.
And you have a wrap.
But mine's a fat wrap.
No problem.
Ivy's is slim.
No problem, but this is your wrap. This is one of the ways to roll it up. If
Okay.
you don't want to roll it up this way, it's fine.
Right.
Suit yourself, however you like to roll it up, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah? So you can either have it as it is,
Yeah. Right. There you go.
or if you're bringing it out, for example, you're making it in the morning for your lunch at work,
Right.
yeah, wrap it up in a food wrapping paper or in your civet or an aluminium foil, and then you can bring it off to work.
Yeah, that's very, very, very convenient, very easy.
Yeah, and like I mentioned just now, we don't want to have wastage, right?
Right.
Yeah. So what do we do with the rest of our ingredients?
Yeah.
Really, you can have your dinner here,
Yeah.
or your lunch, whatever,
So
whichever meal.
You can have a wrap for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
You could, or what else you can do? For example, my chicken breast here.
Right.
Yeah, my chicken breast here. If I made more, I could have a slice of chicken breast. The remaining vegetables will go into my salad.
Yeah.
Right, and the dressing will be my gravy.
Right.
And then maybe I can add some corn or potato as my carbohydrate instead of the wrap.
Right.
Or if you would like, maybe you can have some brown rice as a side.
Okay.
Then you have your dinner already.
Right. Actually, yeah, it's just a matter of just mixing it and being creative, I suppose.
Exactly.
Ivy, we have Nithya Prem Kumar here who says looks delicious. Yeah, I agree. We just
We will taste it in a while.
let you know. And Linda says I enjoy hot spicy food, so when I make a sandwich or roll, I would sprinkle a little cayenne pepper.
Oh yes, you should.
Or some other spices on the yogurt dressing.
Yeah, I would say if you like something spicy, what you can do, one is that you can season your protein differently.
Yeah.
For example, we have here is Cajun spices. If you like spices, maybe some paprika, cayenne, and also red pepper flakes you can fry. The other one in your yogurt dressing, you can also add paprika in there.
Yeah.
Or if you don't want so much fuss, you can add some hot sauce or sriracha on top of your yogurt dressing earlier.
Fantastic.
To spice it up.
Okay. Another thing, I mean, I speak for many people actually. I totally love chili sauce. In fact, when I go on holidays everywhere, I always bring packs of chili sauce with me. So, but what's the drawback with chili sauce? There's a lot of sugar in it. What's the?
Well, chili sauce in moderation is fine. Yeah. Like for example, there are people who go to fast food restaurants, right? With their fries, they have a tub of chili sauce.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah. Chili sauce, well, one is that of course they do contain more sugar and salts. Although it doesn't taste salty, right? Although it doesn't taste salty, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't contain any sodium. Anything that is in a bottle, to put things simple, anything in a bottle or can that you want to keep it longer, you want to preserve them longer, you will definitely have sodium in there. So chili sauce, they do contain quite a lot of sodium and sugar, because that's what makes it chili sauce.
Yeah.
So we can have chili sauce, but in moderation. So you want to have maybe a tablespoon of chili sauce in your wrap, not a problem. But we don't want you having a bowl of chili sauce with your wrap.
Yeah. I think I totally understand it, because preservatives have to have a lot of sodium in it, right? So salt. So to hide the salt, you add in the sugar, and you mask the taste. So that's how you have
food production like that.
Food production like. So better to go natural, I suppose, right?
Yeah. Or what you can do really, if you really like chili, you can put in red chili, fresh chili, sliced. Or like I mentioned just now, bell peppers, although they are not spicy.
Right.
Yeah, you can have your fresh red chili that you can put slices in there.
Right.
So if you are the type that likes a little bit more heat, or you can do chili padi in your chicken.
Yeah.
Cook.
Alright, okay, that's good. So I suppose this is the same thing with all the preparations of like barbecue sauce and all, right?
Yeah.
It goes the same, yeah.
Because they're on a, just remember everything in a bottle. Read the ingredients, you will find that the first few ingredients are usually salt, sugar.
Yeah.
Salt and sugar will be there in the first few ingredients.
I think we need to tell our viewers as well, can't endorse any franchise brands of sandwiches and all out there, but I think you all know what I'm talking about. When you go there and then people like to add on the barbecue sauce, chili sauce, chipotle, Southwest, everything, and make it into one whole, thick mash.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, my advice for you is that yes, it's quite a good option really. Because why? You can have a lot of vegetables. You can have a lot of vegetables in there. As for the dressings, like Dr. Kiru mentioned, you want to go a little bit milder.
Yeah.
So like I mentioned just now, anything that is creamy will tend to have more fat.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can have those, but maybe one type. And the other one, maybe they also always have the option of olive oil.
Yes.
They have sweet mustard. They have pepper. They have chili flakes. All these are less calorific, but at the same time adds flavor to your meals.
How about French dressing?
Yeah.
That's okay.
You can go for that. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's take another answer. We have NU here who says, yes, doctor, my mind is thinking of chili sauce. Yeah, I'm speaking for a lot of people. A lot of us enjoy the chili sauce, but you got to be careful with that. If you're taking too much of, as you saw, our preparation doesn't have any chili sauce here. So try to, space it out. Don't take it too often.
Yeah, right? You can always add chili sauce, but not drench your wrap with chili sauce. Not a problem really. Enjoy your chili sauce, but in moderation.
Yeah. Okay, so as you can see, my wrap again, it's a bit fat, because it's too rich inside. Right?
Not a problem. Yeah.
So you can cater it with that. Ivy's looks perfect.
So this is the one we have prepared earlier. And
wow, yes.
so you can see the chicken,
Yeah.
the zucchini, tomatoes, and also all the greens in there.
Yeah,
be generous with the greens. Be generous with the greens. And if you say, okay, doctor, one like this, not full enough lah. Where got enough? Can take two But it depends.
I think this is a bit too much for me as well.
Not a problem really. I think one is, it won't be too much for anybody really.
Okay.
One, take a guess, doctor. How many calories?
Yeah, now coming back to the chart. So how many calories is this, right?
Yeah. This is roughly 350.
Wow.
350 calories.
Right.
So it means that if you're looking for weight loss, you still can afford to have a little bit more.
Yeah.
You can still have your fruit tea earlier. Remember, fruits, although they are good and healthy, they also contain calorie. Yeah. You can have a serving of our fruit tea earlier.
Right.
Yeah. With one wrap for a meal. If you have more calorie allowance, meaning for example you are not restricting to 1,002 calories a day.
Yeah.
Alright, then you can have a little bit more. Or if you just feel like, okay, I want to stick to this, but I just need a bit more volume. What you can do, the remaining of your vegetables becomes a side salad.
Okay, I get you.
Yeah, your remaining of your vegetables become a side salad.
Right.
And the salad, vegetables on its own contains very little calories, not much.
Right.
Yeah, they contain fewer calories, but very rich in vitamins, minerals, and also, of course, your fibers.
Okay.
So this fiber is the one that will bulk you up, bulk your stomach, keep you full longer without the calorie expenses.
We are speaking so much about calories. I think a lot of viewers probably will want to understand, like, calories is basically the energy unit of the food meal that we eat. So when we're talking about macronutrients, which are your carbohydrates, your proteins, and your fat. And of course, the unit of how we calculate the energy from what that food actually produces is calories, like what Ivy was telling about. So just to give us an idea, Ivy, let's say we, our famous meal in Penang here, nasi kandar. So in one plate of nasi kandar, with a generous portion of rice, with protein, a piece of chicken, a thigh piece, vegetables, which of course is probably, a lot of our viewers probably don't take enough vegetables, right? And of course your fat component, let's say maybe a gravy, yeah. So everyone likes to banje, yeah. So how much of calories are we talking in that one plate of rice?
Okay, depending on the portion of rice, the size of the chicken, the type of gravies, yeah. But like what Dr. Kiru mentioned, if let's say you have a mountain of rice, a big piece of chicken, and the curries banje, right? You can go 700 to 1,000 calories easily.
So in that one meal,
Yes, in that one meal. One, of course, is the portion size of your rice. You don't need that much, yeah. So maybe when you go for your nasi kandar, you can ask him separuh nasi, half the rice or less, yeah, depending on your need. The other one I would caution on is the banje, the gravies. Now the curries, right? They don't add volume much. They don't add much volume, but they add on a lot of calories, because when you make curry, those of you who cook at home, you will know that when you want to tumis, you want to stir fry your chili, you need a lot of oil. And after that, you will see the oil floating up. Yeah. So these are all in your curry banje that you have. You don't see the volume, but the calories are in there. So one way is to have but let's say right now we tapao, right? We bungkus, we take it away. What you can do is that you can cook your own rice at home, safe. You can pack or if let's say you're getting the rice as well, pack the dishes separately. Have your curries separated from your rice. When we do that, when we eat, we take the chicken, we take the proteins, the gravies, we can control how much we add on.
I see.
And that way you can still enjoy your curries, but not as many calories as you would if you have packed all in there. And also when we pack all in there, wow, everything all in there, how are you going to separate the curries now?
Yeah.
And it's so tasty, voila, everything.
The idea is finish everything, right?
So in order to help make it easy for you to control what you're having, what you do, separate the gravies. And when you do that, another advantage is that you will see the oil floating up, right, at the packet. So that way, you can discard the layer of oil and have your gravies that is actually giving you flavor.
Okay.
That way, you also reduce the amount of fat. Same thing like when we pack food outside, separate from your rice, so that you can control the amount of gravies, the amount of oil that you put into your meal.
Now in the topic of rice as well, Ivy, is there a difference between fragrant rice, like basmati rice or your normal starchy rice? Is there a difference?
Yes.
And what should patients, probably who are diabetics, or what's the concern? How should they take care?
Well, regarding rice, regardless whether is it white rice, jasmine rice, basmati rice, parboiled rice, brown rice, wild rice, all rice contain carbohydrates. Alright? They all contain carbohydrates, but the difference really is the outer layer. The outer layer, for example, white rice, this is my grain of white rice, this is where my carbohydrate is. Brown rice, on the other hand, has the other layer that hasn't been polished away. And this is where your fibers, vitamins, and minerals are. Alright? So white rice, we polish this away. Now, what this does is that this fiber will hold on to your carbohydrate. As you digest, it will control the release of the sugar. So white rice without that layer out there, release is faster. That is what we call glycemic index. It releases faster. Brown rice with the extra layer releases slower. Now what about jasmine rice, basmati rice, parboiled rice? They are actually in between the white rice and the brown rice. Because they are less starchy. When you have your beras, the rice, there's the powdery layer out there. That's the starch. Basmati, long grain rice, jasmine rice, they have less of that. Therefore, the glycemic index is also slightly less than white rice, but not as low compared to brown rice.
Okay, so brown rice is the best for diabetics and so on, right?
But also caution those with renal issues. brown rice might not necessarily be the best because they also contain high potassium.
Oh wow, okay. I didn't know that as well.
Yeah. So well, that is why we always say things has to be individualized. Not necessarily everything that is good you can take more.
Yeah.
Those that is not good cannot take at all.
Yeah.
Or everything that is good for everybody.
Yeah. I think that's a concept where everyone probably needs more education on that. They feel that oh, my neighbor is taking this, so it's highly recommended for me as well.
Yes.
But probably it may not be the same for everyone. Right?
Yes, yes. One man's food is another man's poison.
Yeah.
But of course, all food is good for you.
But having said that, even in the same family as Ivy, if the husband is hypertensive and the wife is a diabetic, probably they cannot be enjoying the same meal, right?
Well, you can still.
Oh, okay.
You can still, for example, if let's say one is diabetic, one is hypertensive. For those who are hypertensive, no issues with brown rice, you can still maintain your brown rice.
Okay.
And if, for example, let's say the one of them has got renal issues, like I mentioned, those with renal issues not recommended to have brown rice because of the high potassium. So one of the substitution may be, in order to cater also for the diabetic partner or family member.
Yeah.
One, for example, like we mentioned, the jasmine rice and basmati rice. You can go for that. Or really, even if you really have to just have white rice, not an issue, because as long as you control the portion size of your rice,
Right.
regardless when you're taking brown rice, also you will still have to control your portion size.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, control your portion size. And if let's say you're diabetic having white rice, not having brown rice, maybe simply because you don't like the taste.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay? One, you can cook half brown rice and half white rice together.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, balance it out. Or just go for white rice, put on more vegetables.
Okay, gotcha. Another thing, Ivy, when you're talking about calories, right? I'm sure viewers would like to know what's the difference between good calories and bad calories, because we think that all calories are the same, based on from what nutritious food that we derive it from.
Okay.
So anything of that?
Regarding that, alright. So like Dr. Kiru said, calories, right? Everything has got calories, but what is good and bad actually really is the nutritional profile of the food itself, right? So when we have this set amount of calories, for example, I have 100 calories, right? If I have a glass of milk with 100 calories,
Right.
I'm also having at the same time proteins. I'm also at the same time having calcium and all the other minerals that the milk contains.
Correct.
If I'm having 100 calories, example, a soda drink, a carbonated drink, the 100 calories in there, I'm not getting any nutrients, I'm not getting any proteins, I'm only getting calories in the form of sugar.
Sugar. This is what we call as empty calories as well.
Empty
right?
calories and nutrient density. So we want to make use of the calories. The amount of the calories that you're taking in, we want to make sure also you're getting the nutrition out of it.
Precisely. Nutritional value is the one that is important, not just based on the calories. A lot of people think that, oh, I'm having something now, it's low in calorie, like a zero Coke or a zero Pepsi or whatever. But don't forget, it's still sugar, right?
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So the bad calories, for example, fried chicken. Everybody likes fried chicken, no?
Yeah,
It's
especially I think now during the MCO, I think our delivery of certain franchise is very busy.
Yeah, not that you cannot have them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say reduce the frequency of you having it. And for example, if let's say you don't have a choice, let's say your family member, they are ordering in tonight for dinner.
Yeah.
Are you going to have something else or are you going to join them in? I would say join them in.
Yeah.
Because meal time is also a social time for you to be with your family.
Together.
So even during this MCO, take this opportunity to have meals with your family members, as you might not have the time to previously.
You're right.
So join in with them. But what you can do is to plan ahead. If I know they are ordering in tonight, my lunch, my breakfast, I have it more simple and more nutritious. I put in more vegetables because I know I won't have much vegetables tonight.
Yeah.
So I make sure I get my greens in during my breakfast or lunch or anything in between. So this way we can balance it out.
Okay.
And of course stay active.
But if you're having a bucket, then I think it also pays to be disciplined
Yes.
and probably have one piece of chicken.
Yes,
And
control also the amount that you're
Yeah.
taking. Let's not say tonight, because tonight we're ordering in, so my diet is gone, I'm just going to take whatever I want and however much I want. That is not right also. So stay also within your, in moderation. Let's say you're having fried chicken really. Have a piece or two, maybe, or example, if you feel like one piece is not enough, have an additional smaller piece. Or for example, have the potato or a salad, a coleslaw, or something else to fill you up. Or even have that piece and then have a fruit later on to top up your fibers and also keep you full and increase nutritional value of your meal.
I think we had a question earlier about what's the best type of dessert, but maybe we go to that after. Hi Michelle, she just joined. Linda has another question. Nowadays the healthy trend is cauliflower rice. Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
It is grated cauliflower, lightly cooked. I recently had cauliflower rice ulam. It was delicious. Is cauliflower nice and healthy in our diet?
Yes, it is definitely. This is also one of the things that we can all learn from Linda during this MCO. Try something new and explore with food. Now, this cauliflower rice, it is actually cauliflower that they make into rice.
Wow, I never knew.
And then they stir fry it as you would your usual fried rice.
Okay.
Yes, it will give you less calories and less carbohydrates because cauliflower on its own contains more fiber and less carbohydrates. So that's one way to reduce the amount of carbohydrate and increase your fiber intake, cauliflower rice. But also, of course, don't have the whole plate to yourself. Share it. And when you're stir frying that cauliflower rice, also be aware of the amount of oil that we're putting in.
Okay. All right. Maybe we go to the final part of the session, maybe about desserts. Yeah. So when we're talking about, I think a lot of people have this concept of, today is going to be my cheat day. I'm going to reward myself for probably cutting down my meal the whole week, and today I'm going to just go all out there.
Yeah.
So what do you have to say about that concept?
I would say that the cheat day is not actually advisable.
Okay.
Yeah, I can have a calorie deficit for the whole 5-6 days in that week, and if I overdo that cheat day, it is not enough to compensate for the calorie deficit that you have throughout that 5 days. And that is why those who say they go on diet but have cheat days don't actually see significant drop in weight.
Yeah, I think we get a lot of that, right, from our patients as well.
Yes, because that cheat day is really too much and overcompensates the calorie deficit that you had throughout the week.
It's so sad, you work so hard throughout the week and you allow yourself to cheat yourself by,
I would say don't go for cheat days, but reward yourself occasionally and sparingly. For example, desserts.
Oh, maybe we should call it reward day then.
I would not call it a day, but I would say reward yourself occasionally. If let's say, for example, you've been good all this week, and this weekend you're going out with friends, you want to have some cake. What you can do, share it with friends.
Right.
Or let's say not at home, share it with your family. Yeah, don't have the whole cake to yourself, but just order a slice or two and share it with your family members, depending how many is sharing. Let's say you have 6% sharing, I got only one, right? So if you have 2 to 3%, share a slice. In that way, you get to taste your cake, you get the pleasure and the reward sensation without putting on too many calories.
Okay, great. I think maybe the dessert part of it probably will take it in another episode. Probably when we're preparing certain desserts that are recommended from the kitchen. We can get something nutritious and healthy from there. Okay, I think with that, I think we are going to call it as a wrap today. A wrap for any parting words, Ivy, for our viewers who patiently waited for today?
I would say thank you for watching and also take advantage of this MCO to reset our daily habits. Reset meaning take the time to have your breakfast, lunch, dinner. Take the time to plan your meals. Take the time to remind yourself to drink more water. Since now you're at home, drink more water, sleep well. Take advantage of this MCO to reset, especially our eating habits.
I think excellently said, Ivy. So viewers also, I think this is the opportunity we should take, like what Ivy mentioned as well, to stay healthy. So practicing good meal habits, and as well as a lot of information out there a lot of news. Of course, it can be good, it can be bad, it can be very inspiring, it can be very detrimental and very emotionally upsetting as well. So I just hope that you all take this opportunity to not only feed yourself but feed your mind, feed your body, and stay healthy, stay well, be safe. Practice all the advice that's been going out there, on social media as well.
Hygiene.
Yeah, keeping yourself with proper hygiene and so on. Social distancing is just probably it's going to be extended for a bit longer as well, because as we know, the virus probably will still be around for some time. So a good practicing what we already know and just reinforcing it for the days to come will be a good this one. Let's anticipate what's going to happen the next couple of days and so on. Been a pleasure having you, and we look forward to seeing you again next week. Okay, bye bye.